You're listening to the Monday Night Community Show with Daniel on BRFM.
This is the Daniel Monday Night Community Show on demand through YouTube. Thank you very much for choosing to listen to us through this method. If you'd like to keep up to date with when I add new interviews, then subscribe to this channel. You're listening to the Monday Night Community Show. I'm Daniel. It's great to have you along with us. And now it's time to hear the selection of interviews I did when I was out and about at number 34 in Sittingbourne High Street. I was there as part of IdeasTest's celebration of being at number 34 in Sittingbourne for a year. I caught up with a selection of people who are involved in the project to let you know what's happening in the near future whilst I was at those celebrations.
Hi, I'm Gordon Lamont and I'm a freelance content creator. I used to be with the BBC and making radio programmes and short films, and I've been freelance since 2001 and continuing that really, still working occasionally for the BBC and for others. Just made some short films for Parliament following a sculptor making a bust of an 19th century parliamentarian. But the main reason why I'm here tonight is that I do quite a bit of work here with IdeasTest, running workshops.
So tell us a bit more about those workshops.
Well, the main one is something called Confidence to Create, and that's a free 2-hour workshop where people come along with their creative ideas. Perhaps they might be a potter, or we had photographers, or people who used to act and now want to get back into acting, people who have got all kinds of things that they're interested in, and through some creative thinking exercises, they're very gentle, we help people to find their next step forward, which might be moving into developing what they do as a small business, and we've certainly seen that happen, or it might be teaming up with other people to develop their practice. Whatever it is, we help people through support and guidance and creative thinking to find their way forward.
So how can people find out more about what you do?
Well, the best way is to keep an eye on the IdeasTest website, because whenever there's a new Confidence to Create comes up there, we let people know. And also sign up for the newsletter, because that's another way of doing the same thing. And the other workshop that I run here with Anna Henley is podcasting. So we're helping people to get the basics of audio under their belt so that they can create, interesting and exciting podcasts. We've worked on history. We've done an exciting little fun drama for Halloween. It's just a terrific way, as you know, of really engaging creatively. And, the basics are easy to learn, and then you're free to go and you can create any world you want through the power of sound.
And podcasting can be amazing because, putting stuff online now, you can have an audience very simply in a way you just couldn't have done probably even a few years ago very easily.
That's right. That's the amazing thing. I mean, I started, when I started in creating radio drama with the BBC in 1989, we were on tape, we were cutting tape with razor blades. Everything required a big studio. If you wanted to work in radio drama in this country, there was nowhere else to go. Now, with equipment like you're holding in your hand now, and the imagination that you bring to it, you can create anything. You could bung a sound effect on this and make it sound like we're in space. You could turn me into a robot just by a little bit of fiddling around with the sound. The creative possibilities are endless, and as you say, it's quick, it's easy, and it's not expensive.
Well, thank you very much.
It's a pleasure, real pleasure.
So, if you could introduce yourself to our listeners firstly.
I'm Simon Martin. I've worked with IdeasTest in the past and Daniel in the past before with a sound art project, like we were saying 2 years ago now, I think. So
yes, hard to believe. Yeah, and it's good to speak to you and catch up with you because our listeners, spent a long time listening to the Arts Transmission Project, and of course you're our photographer on that project. How have things been going since we spoke?
Yeah, great. I was kind of fresh out of uni when we were doing the sound project, so it's been a progression, but working a lot more and trying to work a lot more in Sittingbourne and continue shooting.
And of course that's brings us to this project you're working on here at number 34. So tell our listeners a bit about that.
So about 2014, just after I finished working myself, I started kind of photographing Sittingbourne, my hometown, which I'd wanted to do for a while but didn't really have a reason to other than my own interest, and started hearing a lot more about the development plans. Obviously Sittingbourne's been being developed for a long time, but the idea of bearing fruits and different kind of big superstores putting their oars in and things like that, it started bring up a bigger picture as well about developments around England. So I thought I'd start focus on Sittingbourne and try and capture something that's happening a lot anyway. And now I'm trying to focus on more the people in Sittingbourne, so talking to them, having conversations with what they think about the town, how long they've lived in the town, if they're moved here from somewhere outside of the town, or if they've been here all their lives, and what they kind of hope for the town, want from the town, or think about it really.
So it's building up the picture behind the picture.
Yeah, definitely. So giving some a bit more flesh to it really, rather than me just taking pictures of what interests me, talking to someone and getting them to hand write down on a piece of paper to be displayed with images their kind of thoughts and things, to give a bit more of a personal touch rather than it just being me taking something and then applying it again.
So it could be a case that a picture you've taken sparks a memory for somebody, or it could be somebody talks about something and you actually go on to photograph that area.
Yeah, definitely. If there's some kind of, maybe a place I've been already, and it gives it a bit more of a backbone if they've had a story there or there's something there. And I was hearing about Briar Road earlier, that I've been around a fair bit, and the people that had lived there a long time ago, and it was really interesting to hear more of the history. And that's what I'm quite interested in as well, is what the town was like, what it's been like to live in past. When I've lived here all my life, up until recently, where I've been working more in London. But it's interesting to hear what other people's experiences are and how they've seen it change, and really get an understanding of that, not just trying to look at the future and the developments, but what it was like anyway and how it's progressed.
So your piece will kind of capture Sittingbourne at the moment and become a part of that history, like some of the history you're looking at, and hopefully be of use in the future as well.
Definitely, yeah. I think now doing these portraits and these interview sessions this weekend and in a fortnight as well, we're doing one on the 16th and 17th, is more to kind of get an idea of who's living here and their mindset now of what they think of the town, and then do these sessions again in say 20 years time. It's quite a long-term project, and see how the demographics changed, or who's living here, what they want from the town, or people that were here when I first visited for the portraits, and if any of their dreams and ideas have come true, or if anything's not gone to plan at all.
So if our listeners are interested in this, is the best thing to go along in a couple of weeks' time and meet you then?
Yeah, on the 16th, 17th will be be here, IdeasTest. So if they want to come along, it'd be lovely to have a chat. And if they've even got some stories, or if they just want to get something off their chest about Sittingbourne, or really want to chat about it, I'd love to hear what they think and get an inside story. And if they want to get their portrait taken, they can. If they don't, I'd still love to talk to them.
Do they get to keep that as well?
Yeah, I'm giving everyone a portrait, so if they want an extra print, or I can email it to them and send a file if they want a copy of it, I'm more than happy to do that.
So as always, it's a good speech, and it's really good to catch up with you from a previous project we worked on.
Absolute pleasure, it's really good to see you again.
And we are here at the Monday Night Community Show, continuing to hear that selection of interviews I did when I was out and about at number 34 High Street as part of IdeasTest, celebrating being there for a year.
My name's Howard Griffin. I'm a Programme Director of the MA Architectural Visualisation at the University of Kent.
So tell us about what's happening here today.
Basically, the Sittingbourne 360 is a pilot project where we're looking at digitally recreating Sittingbourne High Street, but digitally recreating it from the past. So effectively what we're doing is we're creating a 3D model, a 3D VR model, which can be explored through VR headsets or through just through the standard monitor screen and so on. Which we've created a 3D model and then effectively wallpapered imagery or photographs, representations of the buildings onto those 3D objects. And the idea, this is a pilot at the moment, but the idea behind the project is that we can then peel away that wallpaper to reveal the wallpapers of previous years. So rather than having imagery associated with present day, we will have imagery associated with the 1970s or the 1930s or the 1800s and so on, depending on the sort of the imagery that we can get hold of.
So it's relying on you finding original sort of photographs then, is it?
Absolutely. At the moment, what we're looking at here on the screen is a demonstration of Plan B. And Plan B is where we don't have that source material. So what we do is we have to remodel it. So it's very much in the same way that you digitally recreate ruins which are no longer there. What we're looking at is a space, an architectural space here, which has been modelled in full. And so that's the next stage, in the absence of that source photography.
So it must take quite a bit of time to get it right, especially with photographs. I assume to make a flat photograph, perhaps in the 70s, into a 3D piece that someone can look around and walk around. I imagine that's very time consuming.
It is, yeah. It's, lots of the great thing about 1970s architecture in particular is it wasn't very curved. It was generally very straight and rectangular, so it makes the modelling a lot easier, that's for sure.
So what are the long-term plans to kind of have an archive of this?
Yeah, one of the things that excites us with this project is the sense of that with Street View online you can go and land yourself on any street and feel that you're in that street, and particularly when you combine that with a VR experience, then it's you can put yourself, with this project you can put yourself anywhere, in this case Sittingbourne High Street, but at any time as well.
So at the moment a lot of people are now having these sort of headsets even linked to computer games. So would you like that people from home could technically access this and
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, it's what we're doing with although I'm from the field of architecture, we've actually stolen the technology and the software from the games industry. So we're very much working across two disciplines here, and the sense that you can perhaps in the future go online and just with your own headset at home and be transported through space and time to a different location is well within the realms of possibility now.
So are you looking for people that have got perhaps older photographs of the area that you could use?
Yes, please. Yes, so we need as much source material as possible from any time as well. So we're concentrating at the moment with an area of the High Street which extends from number 34 100 metres either way. But any source photography out of Sittingbourne High Street would be greatly appreciated. And
how would people be able to contact you if they do?
They can contact John directly, and John Pratty, and he will then pass the information on to me.
And that's through number 34 here in Sittingbourne?
Yes. Yeah.
Thank you very much for talking to us.
Lovely, thank you.
So it's good to catch up with you again, Nicole.
Yeah, you too.
Tell us about this latest bit you're in.
Oh, well, so I am working with Magic Lanterns, and myself and a performer called Frog, who is a stand-up poet stroke artist, are doing a project in IdeasTest in Sittingbourne on the 23rd of December. We're getting people to make their own magic lantern slides, and if you don't know what a magic lantern is, come along. Basically, it's a Victorian form of entertainment. It's kind of pre-cinema, pre-TV, and what it does is it projects images onto a darkened wall. So we're doing performances throughout the day, but also, more importantly, you can make your own slide and tell your own story. So come along, it's all free.
Well, that's great, to make your own slide and then see it as part of a story at the end.
Yeah, no, that's the aim. And don't worry if you can't draw. We've got lots of like stencils and different things you can do, which doesn't involve any iota of ability to draw or paint, but we've got all sorts of things that you can make, and it's really fun. And ultimately you can take your thing that you've made home with you, and they work really well as baubles to hang on your Christmas tree. So it could be like a extra present to give to your grandma on Christmas Day.
Nicole, as always, thank you very much.
Thank you.
And that was a selection of interviews I did when I was out and about at number 34 High Street in Sittingbourne. Of course, IdeasTest celebrating a year of being there. A big thank you to IdeasTest for inviting me and giving me the opportunity to do those interviews, and of course a big thank you to everyone I spoke to, and of course we look forward to covering more things from IdeasTest at number 34 in the years to come.